attest to all of this. All of these things I'm saying are not new to anybody in Omega Fire Ministry, especially those who were in Auchi and all of that. So that was it. And one of the days that my wife went to Auchi and came back, you know, this was 6 months after we had our daughter, 6 months going to 7 months. She came back from Auchi to Osun State, and she called me privately. She called me into the room and said that 2 days after that she wanted to talk to me, and that her conscience was killing her over something, you know, she considered too abominable to conceal. So, and I said, what was it? And she said that while in Auchi, that Apostle Johnson Suleiman, you know, lodged her in Uyi Grand Hotel. Many of you know Auchi, know Uyi Grand Hotel, and that he came there and slept with her. And in the moment he said that, the first thing, you know, that came to my mind was about my daughter. And immediately I asked, I said, where was Michelle? Because that was the name of my daughter. She said to me that Michelle was on the bed, pushed aside. And I asked her a question. I said, you mean you slept with a man, but my daughter on the bed? Then I had to let it go, because there was nobody I could tell, and I could not fight Apostle Johnson Suleiman. If I had mentioned it to my family, if I had mentioned it to her family, nobody would believe me. And if I sent her away, the question is, people would want to know what happened. And for the fact that she spoke to me of her own free will, I had to let it go. I forgive her. After about two days thereabout, I told her, I've forgiven you. And that was how we kept on. And the amorous relationship between her and Suleiman continued. But one thing I knew was that my wife was hypnotized. This was not the woman I got married to, and I knew for over 11 years. You know, so that was it. And eventually, you know, the situation degenerated and all of that.
Hello, Pastor Mike. First of all, I bring you greetings from your 3 kids. I bring you greetings from them, Michelle, Great, and Gabriel. I just got a video trending online, and I thought it fit to reply you. It is me you have issues with, that I think you should face me. I don't know why you're fighting a man who obviously has done you no wrong and has no hand in whatever issues we both had. You have called on Nigerians over an issue that you already know the truth. I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know who paid you. I don't know what you want to achieve. But the only thing I'm going to say to you, haven't you done enough? Have you not destroyed this heart enough? Haven't you done the worst that any man could ever do? Have you not done? Aren't you tired of the too many things you've done to me? Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of the things, the pain, the things that are too despicable that I can't even tell the word? Are you not tired? Are you not tired of plugging someone's daughter into pain? Aren't you tired? Are you not tired? You left me in Kano. You left me, you called me on a certain day, and you told me that, yeah, you're going to leave the marriage. I thought you were bluffing. I called my people, and they can testify. My mom is there. My brothers are there. My elder brother called you from UK. You told me you were leaving the marriage. My brother told me you were bluffing. I thought you were joking. Yes. I begged you. I remember I begged you. And then I got to the office. I collapsed according to what my principal said, because I opened my eyes in the hospital. And that was where, because you had already threatened to take these kids from me, as heard in the recording that I will upload if Nigerians need to hear it. I knew, why are you doing this? Why? Haven't you destroyed me enough? I remember asking you in that record, in that very day, I told you, I said, even if you borrowed my womb, you have done so much. You have done so much. And when I begin to tell Nigerians what you have done to me, the hell you made me pass through in 10 years, Mike, I have hidden this because of the respect I had for you as the father of my kids. I never ever wanted to drag you online, because internet, don't forget, issues, and I have children that I value so much. I know how this is going to affect them. I never wanted it. And so I allowed you to take your way and allowed you to have your way, whatever you wanted. If I begin to tell Nigerians the hell with evidences that you, Mike, has passed me through for 10 years, people are going to come out to do videos too, because there are people who were first-hand witnesses to your maltreatment, Mike. They have done recordings to show, and I'm going to upload it. I'm going to upload those recordings. I will call my brother now for those recordings you send them. You told them that I was going to crawl in the gutters, that I will eat from the dustbin. In your own words, you said that to my people. And I told them not to do anything to you, that you are still the father of my kids. Oh, Jesus. And then I picked the pieces of my life in depression. At some point, I had contemplated suicide. And it was my little boy who God used to rescue me that very day. I had written my suicide note. I had written it down. I bought a sniper because I couldn't fathom why I will live life this much pain. Are you not tired? Mike, are you not tired? I won't drag you. I am only replying you. I won't drag you because of my children. But if you push me, I'm doing this reply right now to you, Mike, please. You have done so much. It's enough. It's enough. And you left. I picked the pieces of my life. I picked it. Even when you told my mom that it is not in your house I will do international ministry. I preached the gospel even before I met you. I remember I couldn't face Apostle John, the same Apostle John Suleiman you are dragging right now. I couldn't face him. I could not. I was so scared. You had this whole thing planned out. And I told my brothers that I was going to crawl in the gutters. I will not reply you, Mike. My people will reply you. Because they all know how you've treated us and how you've gone over these issues. You have recordings you sent to them. You had this thing all planned out. And like I said, this is the worst you can do. I will come out of this one, Mike. I am not hypnotized. I am not under a spell. I know exactly what I'm doing. And listen to me, you had all this planned out. We got married in 2009. We were given 2 certificates. And I was told by the church to return 1 certificate to the local government. And the other wedding certificate was mine. You took the duplicate that I was to send to the local government. And you came back, Mike, to tell me that that certificate got missing because you said you wanted to do a visa. I kept quiet. A year later, Mike, you came back to me. If I'm lying, counter this video. You came back to me and you told me that you need the original of a wedding certificate, that you want to do a visa. I gave it to you. You came back again, Mike, and you told me that you have lost it. And you... Mike, this is it. This is the worst you will ever do. I had to get into this car because I did not want my kids to hear nothing. I have always protected them. You have no conscience, Mike. You care about nobody. You have always been that way. You have no conscience. And listen, this is the worst. You told my brothers I would crawl in the gutters. And this is it. Walking out of me, taking your diary, that was the last struck. Oh God, how much I cried. I begged you. Listen to me. This is the last you will do. And guess what? I will come out of this. So scared. I was damn scared. I couldn't even approach Apostle Johnson Suleiman. I could not even go to Omega Fire Ministries. It was people like Pastor Dan Okoje, people like Apostle Tenebe that took me and begged and told Papa not to throw me away. That I have a ministry. My life cannot end because of you, Mike. And then it took 1 year because before even Papa could hear me out, the same man you are accusing of what I don't know, the same man, it took him 1 year to even hear me. Papa was never aware that you left the house. This has nothing to do with Omega Fire Ministries, and you know it. Mike, you know it. And then the next hit you drew the last draw that broke the camel's back. You went to my people and demanded your bride price. Mike, I remember I called you. And you told my people you went to my house, you went to my mom, and you guys demanded your bride price. In your words, Mike, you said you're not ready to judge to anybody. My mom asked that for 2 years, you never took care of your children. I am in the same Abuja with you. Mike, I am in the same Abuja with you. I am here with you. Instead, you will send bloggers to interrogate me. And the last Apostle Justice Suleiman sent for you. You refused to show up. You refused to go. You did so much that I am not going to say. I'm not going to say. I still respect you as the father of my kids. Mike, don't push me to the wall. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't push me. I respect my kids. I do. And I'm going to watch what I say concerning you. But please, do not push me to the wall. Thank you. If you still have a little conscience in you, use it.
All right, like I was saying, number 2, Mike, you forgot that you bought ticket to come that evening and you missed your flight. And then the flight came too late. Missed your flight. Then you flew the next morning. I was the one that picked Mike from the airport. I took you and my wife in the car to Apostle Suleiman's hotel. When you were in Suleiman's hotel and you were being rebuked, you were begging for me to reconcile you with your father. You were begging me and then talking to Suleiman, begging. How can you forget that I was the one that took the picture? And my wife is an evidence and a witness in that matter. When you were leaving, when I was talking to Mike and Apostle Suleiman in the hotel, begging Apostle Suleiman, who literally didn't want to have anything to do with you, and he accepted because of me, I sent my wife outside in the hotel so that we can talk. And when we finished talking, I sent you out. And Apostle Suleiman asked me, Apostle, what do we need to do? What do you think I should do to this young man? I said, put him on probation. And he said, okay, we'll give that a thought. And I brought you in. When we were going, Apostle Suleiman gave Mike $1,000 and gave my wife $1,000 for transportation. And I was going to go to Germany, so I was going to German embassy to pick my visa. And then I took Mike with me to pick my visa in German embassy. On our way out on the Tomeland Bridge, our car got a problem. Mike, you forgot? And then Mike gave me the $1,000 that is my gift. I said, no, I don't do that. It's your father that bless you. You need ticket money. I know how you hustle to come down here. I don't do that. And then you say, if I don't take any money, Mike said, if I don't take any money from the money, he will not be happy, and he will throw the money in the Tomeland Bridge water. So I took $100 out of it, and Mike left with $900. And then Mike called his mother and put his blood mother and put her on the phone. The mother was crying and thanking me that thank you for reconciling my son back to his father. We have been laboring, going everywhere, talking to everybody, even in the airport. Apostle Suleiman embarrassed us. I didn't know there was a case like that. It was your mom and yourself that told me. And then that is done. Only for Mike to go to the house, and I was managing them on the phone how to go. I told Mike to go to the church on Sunday, even though they have not finalized every arrangement. And you went and brought story that people were happy and news was going up and down and all of those stories until I got to America. When I got to America in New York, myself and Mike and Faith and Apostle were back to back on the phone for almost every other day, trying to reconcile this family. Long story short, Mike, you and I have a WhatsApp conversation. You and I have a WhatsApp audio conversation. You send notes to me. Your wife did the same. And you forgot I have them. Where did you keep your mind when you were doing a video that you said Apostle Suleiman is in the custody of your wife? Did you forget that you, Mike Davis, called me on the phone and said you have left the house and I was begging you to go back home and you left for Abuja? How can you forget so soon? I begged you and you said you don't want to do anything with that marriage again. You are done with your wife and you are she said this or whatever and you are done with the marriage. I told you to think about your children. You told me that she has two options, either to return your children or to to you, or she should keep it. And that was what happened. Faith was hospitalized. Do you know how many days I was on the phone talking to your children and praying for your wife and talking to her, encouraging her on the phone? The woman went mad, almost insane, and into depression. How can you be this cruel? I don't have problem with your domestic family, your problem in your family. I don't have problem with whatever you are doing with the Omega Fire Ministry and Apostle Suleiman. But I have problem with you not being sincere on the weight of my involvement on this thing. You never mentioned my name. Your wife never mentioned my name. I feel that both of you are ingrate. This is my conclusion on this matter. Be sincere enough and remove the name of Apostle Suleiman when it comes to dealing with your wife as being missing. You know where your wife is. And let me give you the biggest shocker of the era. When your wife left Kano to Abuja, I was aware. I know who gave her the money to make her transportation to Abuja, which is her elder brother in the UK. I am aware of that story. And then, can I give you the shocker? Pastor Faith know where Mike is living because they live in the estate opposite each other. We have cracked jokes on it, and I said one day both of you will run into each other in the shopping mall and in the supermarket, and we laughed. Faith know where Mike is living in terms of geographical location. Might not know the definite house, but he knows because both of them live in the same estate. Mike, your wife lives in your estate. Faith, you know that your husband lives in your estate. So don't bring Apostle Suleiman each. Two of you know to bring this man of God into the matter. Mike don't know where Faith is living, but Faith know where Mike is living, and this is over a year. And you know why I'm pissed off? I am pissed off because when I did this reconciliation, Faith blocked me on the WhatsApp and also blocked me on Facebook and went solo for 1 year plus. I had the voice of Faith for the first time in a year and plus yesterday when the storm began to rage. And I wanted to blast her on the phone, but because she was crying, I felt to hold my peace. And I had my peace of mind to talk to her. Apostle Suleiman called me and said, did you see the video that was going out? And I said, well, I didn't see the video. And he told me in confidence that I didn't want to reconcile with these people. You begged me. Look at the mess you are putting me into now. Pastor Mike, I was told by your wife yesterday that you have collected the bride price. If a man's wife is missing, the two places he's going to find out. Number one, from the in-laws place and from the police station. Apostle Suleiman, which you know is in Zambia right now preaching, doing the work of God, is not in the custody of your wife and does not know where your wife lives in Abuja. I, Samokwe, was the one that pleaded with Apostle Suleiman from New York while I was staying in New York to please support your wife and give them fitting. I don't even know that they have given your wife a church. I didn't even know how much of help Suleiman have given after she blocked me. I don't know for whatever reason she blocked me. I don't know. I wasn't chasing her. I wasn't looking for her. I was just there mediating. And she felt that they want to use me and dump me, whatever the case is. I don't give a crap to that because I don't need any favor from either of the two parties. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole of Nigeria, please have this at the back of your mind that Apostle Johnson Suleiman is innocent of the allegations and the accusation from Mike Davis and his family. God bless you until I come your way again. Mike, you know that you and I have a long WhatsApp conversation. The evidence is there. Please, let's not get to the point where we are uploading evidence. You know who took the picture. Why will you crop out your wife's picture and Suleiman and edit my image and edit the image of Joe Asuko and then make it look like as if Suleiman, Apostle Suleiman, is having something to do with your wife? How could you guys be too cruel? Somebody gave me $3,000, gave my wife $3,000, gave your wife $2,000, gave you $2,000, a total of $7,000 as a gift to go back to your house because you couldn't get your ticket money. How could you be cruel? Is it not part of the money you used to buy your ticket to go back to Kano? Let's be sincere and let's not take people's benevolence and soft hand